Ladies and gentlemen, reporters here. We have Titus Jr., a pastor, a teacher, a counselor, a mediator. I call him a genealogist. A geologist, you know. He has so much rich information to share to mankind. He's a husband, a protector, a provider, an uncle, son, brother, and father. He's a director, mediation, Institute of Mediation here in the Bronx. And we are privileged today to meet him. So he was also a former police officer. He fought the Vietnamese War, is that correct?
That's correct.
Basically, he was in Vietnam. And we are so lucky, ladies and gentlemen, to be right here to have him tell us one or two things about Vietnam. He has a rich background in terms of family, and he has so much to tell generations to come. And we feel it's very important that we talk to Mr. Rich this afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Rich, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We are so glad to meet you today. We've been trying to talk about this. You've been trying to avoid us, whichever way. But, you know, the last time we met Professor Cornel West, who also has a rich background. He can go from scholarly to philosophy to Christianity and, you know, human race and the racism and so on and so forth. So we are happy to meet you today. And could you tell us so much more about yourself and your family?
Well, I was born in 1942 in what is called Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. At that time, I think it was called Conway.
Oh, Conway.
Single mother, and who gave me to my grandmother when I was about 3 months old.
Wow.
A lot of young people today still are in those kinds of things.
Yes, sir.
Single mothers.
Yes.
And my grandmother raised me. Her picture's on the wall there.
Okay.
She raised me up.
So where's your grandma here? You want to show?
My grandmother is. I'm leaning, the picture behind there, I'm leaning over her shoulder.
Okay.
And that's a picture of my mother there too.
Right.
There, the woman in the red blouse.
Okay.
That's my mother.
Right, you leaning over right here, the one you're leaning over, I get it, okay.
The one I'm leaning over.
Right, that's your grandma?
That's my grandmother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I grew up in Myrtle Beach until I was 18 years old.
Yes, sir.
And then I came to New York. I went to school in Conway, South Carolina, which is about 14 miles from Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And
so how did you end up in New York?
I graduated from high school in 1961, June of 1961, and in September I came to New York with an aunt.
What's her name? Your aunt? Do you remember her name?
Nina Edie.
Nina Edie, okay.
She's still in Myrtle Beach. She's about 90 years old, about 91 years old now.
Wow.
I hope I live that long.
Oh, we wish you that way. Wish you long life, sir.
Yeah. I came here because there was nothing. I couldn't see a future, a good future, in Myrtle Beach at that time because of the way the society was.
At the time, okay.
Things were segregated.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't see much of an opportunity. So I came to New York thinking that there was a greater opportunity. I was in for a surprise in many ways. Because things, people, no matter where they are, some people will be the same,
right,
or act the same as folks everywhere else. So I came to New York in 1961, and I've been here since.
So what has changed? Have you been back to North Carolina?
Oh, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
South Carolina, okay.
I go just about every year.
About every year.
But I've tried to go every year.
So basically you want to connect with your heritage, that's what it is. You want to connect with your heritage.
Definitely, definitely. Because if one forgets where they came from, they do not know where they are.
Yes, sir.
And they certainly will not know where they're going. So we always have to keep some way connected to our roots.
Genealogy, basically.
Yes.
So what do you want to tell young people the importance of keeping track with your family and keeping records? Because you have so much you're into documentation, keeping records, and you are researching about your family, your mom, your dad, your grandpa, your grandmom, and you keep all this record. Why do you keep records?
Well, records are proof of that you've had
Yes, sir.
an existence. Our people, in particularly, many of our records are just lost,
Lost.
and we can only go back so far.
Yes, sir.
4 or 5 generations, 6 generations, and after that, most African Americans, there's just nothing genealogically, and we might be able to find some things, but only so far.
So far.
And then we know where we came from. We can
Right.
tell where we came from,
Right.
but we don't know who these people were. Records. Many people keep records and have records for 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 years, and
Yes,
they
sir.
know who their people were.
Right.
Families are there. But the situation with African Americans, many of them, that only goes back so far, and then it's just nothing that you could actually find in record.
So, what excites you about record? Why do you like to keep records?
Well, I can see when I go and search on the.
I mean, it's important to keep records, but you might have had some special interest in record keeping.
Well, like I said, record keeping is important because it proves, in many ways, that you did have an existence. It can tell where you lived, particularly the census records.